Yo, in my previous video in this series on football pundits, I put the spotlight on who I referred to as Sky Sports cover star, Gary Neville. In this video, I'm going to discuss the good, the bad, and the very ugly of one of his colleagues, and dare I say friends, Jimmy Carragher. Jimmy Carragher is a former Liverpool and England defender. He was Liverpool's vice-captain for 10 years and has made the second most appearances for the club, behind Ian Callaghan. Unlike Callaghan though, Carragher ended his career as one of the few players of the modern age to have only played for one club. Jimmy Carragher joined Sky Sports as a match analyst for the 13-14 Premier League season before, like Gary Neville, transitioning into some co-commentary work as well. He has also worked as a sports journalist for the Daily Mail and the Telegraph, in addition to being a pundit on Danish sports channel TV3 Sport and soccer on CBS Sports. Not too dissimilar to Gary Neville, I think it's fair to say Jimmy Carragher was initially well received as a pundit. He did get some criticism for his heavy regional accent and jokes about needing subtitles to understand him were in abundance, but I do think his retrospective analysis of games in particular were both insightful and educational. He also seemed to possess a broader football knowledge than most of his colleagues, which admittedly is a fairly low bar. As mentioned in my previous video, I do enjoy his relationship with Gary Neville, and I especially like them both on Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football is mostly rehearsed, so the pundits have a time to do the research, think carefully about their analysis and what points they would like to make. This is very much in contrast to pundits reacting to things in real time or just after the final whistle. It's probably a tad unrealistic to expect pundits to fully formed opinions and thought-provoking insight without having the time to properly digest what they've just watched. That being said, I still think the depth of knowledge and display from most mainstream pundits can be borderline embarrassing at times. Did anyone see some of the drivel that Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was spouting last Sunday after the Arsenal-Everton game? Anyway, I digress.
Don't like it.
I think that Jimmy Carragher's recent analysis of Brighton's 3-1 win over Manchester United was a brilliant piece of punditry. He highlighted how Roberto De Zerbi's early change of shape in response to United's midfield diamond helped sway the game in Brighton's favour. This is the kind of insight and the kind of discussion that I expect from football analysts. He didn't speak about United's lack of character and personality. He didn't once mention the Glazers, and he didn't shove a lot of cherry-picked statistics in our faces attempting to showcase some far-reaching point. It was proper football analysis. Outside of football, Jimmy Carragher has done a lot of great work for charity. In 2009, he set up the 23 Foundation, a charitable foundation with the aim of helping the youth of Merseyside. A year later, he donated all of the proceeds from his testimonial to charity, which amounted to around £1 million. In 2018, Jimmy Carragher joined the opening of the Cotton Street Shelter, which welcomes Liverpool's most vulnerable members of society. He said that he would ensure to keep in regular contact with those using the shelter, and he wanted to play a part in them turning their lives around for the better. 2018 was also a year to forget for Jimmy Carragher. A video began to circulate of him spitting at a car carrying a man and a 14-year-old girl after covering Manchester United's 2-1 over Liverpool for Sky. The man driving the vehicle goaded Carragher, shouting "Unlucky Jimmy lad, 2-1", and the only mature voice in the video was the man's 14-year-old girl, who urged her father to stop what he was doing. What made the video worse for me was that the man seemed to be thrilled to have received that reaction from Jimmy Carragher than he did concern for his own daughter, who had just been spat at by a grown man. Carragher, of course, issued an apology to the driver and his daughter, calling it a moment of madness and the worst mistake of his career. Sky Sports were actually forced to de-escalate something for once, and Carragher was suspended until the end of the season. Obviously, I do not know Jimmy Carragher personally, but I've always had the gut feeling that he's not a great person, and this video certainly reinforced this hunch of mine. The most common criticism of Jimmy Carragher's punditry is, just like most football pundits, bias. Personally, I don't think he's quite as bad as Gary Neville, but perhaps I'm showcasing my own biases here, being a Liverpool fan myself. His recent claim that we couldn't know if Alexander Isak had a clear goal-scoring opportunity for Virgil van Dijk's red card against Newcastle was a classic example of his pro-Liverpool bias. Aside from his pro-Liverpool bias, some of his provocative behaviour online and spitting at children, I'm actually of the opinion that Jimmy Carragher is one of the most insightful pundits on TV. He might lack the charisma of the likes of Gary Neville, but from an analytical perspective, I think he's one of the best analysts on British television. I would generally love to know everyone's thoughts on Jimmy Carragher's punditry. What do you agree or disagree with what I've said? And if you did enjoy this video, which pundit or even YouTuber would you like to see me do next? Lastly, if you did enjoy the video, please do give it a like and click the subscribe button for more football related content. Thanks for watching.